Hello, welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James, down joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
As always. As
Ro-
always, me.
As you said to me before we started recording, you're just riding a bit of a wave at the moment. Your football club is, for the first time in, well, actually since 2000, the Bombers haven't been on a winning streak like they are
That
now.
was, yes. And what happened in that 2000?
Yeah, you won the flag.
Premiership. And lost one game. But that's not the point, because let's be honest, that's not happening.
Well, you've already blown the one loss thing, but the rest of it, who knows? Seems promising. How are you feeling about it? You feel like, are you letting yourself believe yet? Have you been disappointed too many times in these last 20 years?
No, I've said this all before. Just wait.
So the last time I saw you get a good run on, it wasn't quite that same sort of streak, but the last time you got a good run on was the year that then the walls came crumbling down with the drug scandal.
That was a good year too, yes.
2013, and then the wheels fell off after that. So
I've been recovering ever since.
Yeah.
Until now.
So, not a footy podcast. I personally do enough of those. Well, let's get back to video games. And it's our Patched Updates episode where we talk about all the games we've been playing lately. We've got about 8 games between us, plus, little bits and pieces along the way. Matto, kick us off. What have you been playing?
This month, not much. Only 3 games.
Yeah, we were talking about last week after we recorded and the fact that Updates was next. That you're like, oh shit, I better play some games.
I did not.
Fair enough.
I thought, yeah, probably should have done as well. I did, but I haven't got enough to talk about one game.
We'll make it work.
But you probably talk about it more than I will because you have played.
Oh, Hellblade.
Game. Yes. I've walked about 2 hours so far. That is... But, so I'm about halfway. If you're going on 2 hours.
Yeah, pretty close to halfway. And walking is the key operative word because you're not doing much.
Yeah, I saw like a picture on Twitter. Someone was joking like what my gameplay in Hellblade was. Is just him pushing up on the stick. And I thought, I don't know if he's taking a piss or he's right. It's
pretty close. Pretty accurate.
Right. He's right. As harsh as it is to say.
It's probably 80% walking, 10% puzzles, 10% combat, or maybe 15% combat, 5% puzzles.
Oh,
like
dear. It's the incorrect ratio they did not learn from the Order.
Yeah, and the Order's been brought up a few times in relation to this game as well. So, but at least, like that still had, good chunks of gameplay. The game itself wasn't long enough. They could have and should have done more with it. But at least cutscene into gameplay and then sustained gameplay and then it was just a short game. This has got the ratios all out of whack as well as being short. So they've blown it. You could have had that, I don't know, what is it? Yeah, 6-ish hours long. You could have had, 4 hours of walking around if the game, and it would have been more tolerable if the game was 10 hours long. Because then you got 6 hours of gameplay and whatnot on top of it. But yeah, they've messed it up completely. In this case, it's a great story. I don't know what you're thinking of that so far with the time you spent with it. How are you feeling about what you've seen of the narrative so far?
Story good, audio great, but just the walking part of things is just that's all I've got to say so far. Because 2 hours in, I'm pretty much, like you said, 80% of it has been walking.
Yeah.
And then I get attacked for about 20 seconds, hit them, cut them, stab them, and then walk again.
Stick them in a stew. Sorry, just making a potatoes reference. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
This is not Lord of the Rings. These are not taters.
It's even the combat's a backward step. I don't know. Like you played the original, didn't you?
I did. I was scratching my head too because I couldn't remember what happened until they said the word Dilly, and I thought, that guy.
Yeah. That's a name that sticks out the way they
saw,
not Dylan like we would say.
But yeah, so I thought the combat was, I would say, light and
pretty easy.
I would say easy, repetitive. It's just dodge, stab.
Yeah.
Stab.
Build up enough.
Hard attack.
Yeah.
Put them off their feet. Stab, and then an ending stab.
Yeah, and if you can string a couple heavy blows together, it's done even faster. Or the her focus move. Have you got that yet?
Yes. Is that where
Yeah.
you just slow down and
Yeah,
then stab, stab, stab.
basically a few successful parries or dodges, and that focus bar builds up pretty quickly, and then you're essentially guaranteed to kill them at that point because you slow down time and you can just swat them as long as you don't time it so like the execution of that so badly that they're about to hit you at the moment that you decide to put the focus on, because otherwise if that's the case it interrupts your focus. You're basically almost certain that you're going to kill them at that point. It's weird. It's so hard to lose at the game. To die, quote unquote, for video game
Because
sort
if
of language.
you just don't hit, because if you don't hit them, you just recover, as I found out. It's like you can't die. Surprisingly, even if you try to die, you probably won't die.
Yeah. And then just even like mechanically, like the original game, it was at least more like your typical third-person character action game where you could at least walk around the space a little bit, and you might have multiple enemies, and you heard the voices that you heard, kind of the, I guess, the remnants of the psychosis in her head, telling you behind you, and then you have to react to, dodge or try and parry or whatever the case happened to be, and there was multiple enemies coming after you, and it was more like a traditional game in that sense, and here they've tried to really ramp up the cinematic components, which I can appreciate, and for the most part they nail that. But when it comes to gameplay, it makes the game so unfun. And then
Yeah, I think they also focus too much on those voices as well.
Yeah,
because it's non-stop.
They had too much to say.
Too much. I was like, shut up. I'm going crazy just listening to those two voices.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe
the psychosis is what you get along the way.
I want to do the Van Gogh and cut off my ear. And just not listen at all.
Yeah, it's painful like that.
Oh well, so we can start getting flowers and a funeral ceremony ready for Ninja Theory because...
Did you see that tweet?
No, I did not. But
Oh.
that's what I thought. If Hi-Fi Rush can win an award, multiple awards, and get shut down, I don't see Ninja Theory being safe.
Yeah, look, I think they'll win some awards for the audio design, if nothing else. Melina Juergens as actor again has done an amazing job, but beyond that, yeah. And look, they put out this tweet, and I won't be able to send it to you right now because I'd have to minimize our Discord and kind of screw things up. But if you were to go and just take a bit of a quick look at the Ninja Theory Twitter account, they basically put out this big post, which when you first
saw that,
when you first
I was getting laid off. I thought, people, gay companies, please stop putting those type of posts up. It looks like you're about to lay off about 400 people.
Or if you're going to do it for layoffs specifically, standardize it where they've all got to be like the Cyberpunk yellow. It's got to be on that yellow. It's got to be that exact same style as the Cyberpunk ones because they're kind of the ones that kicked it all off in the first place with that thing. So everything has to stay in that format so that then when you post something else, like say this one, the first reaction is, oh god, they've just fired a bunch of people. Now that said, it felt a bit like a last rites. It felt like they were kind of saying goodbye to everyone. So I could see, I don't know, even if this doesn't go well for them, I could see them still sticking around for 6 to 12 months as they get the inevitable PlayStation version, which has already kind of been reported on now. It's not confirmed, but it's been reported on. As they get that one ready.
And get their awards at the awards.
Try and claim their awards.
Awards.
Only to then get shut down a month or two later.
And then they can put a tweet out saying, not enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, look, I mean, I'd say stick with it still because the story is cool. I'm sure you'll still enjoy that side of it. But the gameplay doesn't get much deeper. The only curveball that's thrown in the mix, and that may have already occurred given how far through the game you are already, is like some of the fire breathing guys. Not fire breathing, but they've kind of got like big flaming torches, and they'll just blow the fire out or whatever. That makes a little bit, in terms of the combat, that changes one little aspect, but otherwise it's just the same old goons attacking the same old way. And that's the other half of it. At least in that other game, even if you want to change the perspective and go for this more cinematic thing, at least in the other game, you had multiple enemies to contend with. Here, you do, but it's just you kill the first, and then the next one just kind of throws the dead body out of the way and steps in, and then you just fight that guy the exact same way, and then he goes down, and you end up like dealing with sometimes 7, 8, maybe even up to 10 enemies that are you killing the exact same way every single time. So as you said, it gets really, really repetitive. Not great. Really, like it's a solid enough game. Like I think I gave it like a 7.5. In terms of the player 2 grading, or the B, and converted to a 7.5. Like it's fine. The cinematic qualities and the story do all the lifting because the gameplay part of it sucks. Unfortunately, it's not a fun game to play.
It's also they can win the award for best sound design and probably best gaming accessibility because you only need one finger to control one button. Yep, that's it. That's all you got to do. That's the instructions right there.
Just hold this and you'll be fine. Maybe swing it around a little bit from time to time, but otherwise you're fine.
And with the occasional tapping of A, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. All right, what's up next? Hopefully something that's more positive.
Well, kind of. Yeah,
I played another turd. It's been a shit month, mate.
Yes. The next game it's on Games Pass. It's on Games Pass every year because it won't sell anywhere outside of the United States. We found out during the PlayStation leak, which is MLB The Show.
Oh yeah.
Different year, same game. That's how I put it. And I got to the Major League Baseball thing, like, cool, I'm done, uninstall. It is a boring sport to watch, and I still rate it as a boring game. But the upside is, if you're doing your player career thing, games last like 5 minutes, which is great, because you don't have to waste your time sitting there watching a man pitch a ball at a batter for God knows how long.
Yeah, it kind of checks out.
I just don't get it. I don't. I was gonna say I do, but I don't. I just don't get how people get excited about hitting a ball. And I just put on the easy difficulty, so all the balls go in the little zone thing. So all I have to do is just whack it, hope for the best.
See what happens. Yeah, look. And I actually forgot. Yeah, I've got one extra game on this. So I was playing MLB as well, most through chunks of April and then into May, because Ryan Betts and I came together to review the game for the website. And look, I've tried them before. PlayStation have sent me codes for the game in the past. It was very weird to get an email from them that said, "Here's your PlayStation code, and also here's an Xbox code for the game." But anyway, yeah, that was a weird one. They sent both platforms, even though I think it's coming. I think it's on Switch as well. They didn't send a Nintendo Switch code. But anyway, look, it's fine. Like, don't get me wrong. It's for a baseball game. It's a very well made baseball game.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's just that the sport itself is very boring, and I say that as someone who really enjoys cricket. So
I know that's the weird thing. It's like, I bet you watch cricket, but yeah, not every ball gets miss, or just thrown into a pitcher's glove. There is some excitement in cricket.
Yeah.
Ball gets hit, everyone goes, yeah, and starts cheering. People chase after it. And you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's a bit more to keep you busy with cricket. Not a lot, but there's a bit more to keep you busy, and it's enough for me. Baseball just isn't it. Maybe if I was born and bred in the US and that was kind of the thing I was exposed to all the time, I would absolutely appreciate it more. As a video game, it is very well made. It's a great baseball game. Baseball's just not a great game.
Just in general.
Yeah.
And people watch it. I don't understand it.
Hopefully I don't steal the thunder from your third and final game, though. The way we're going, considering I've already had Hellblade, I've already had this.
No, because Hellblade wasn't on my list of games.
Oh, okay.
Because I had barely played it.
Yeah, right.
But by the sounds of it, I have played most of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, my next game was a game I've purchased about 2 years ago. Never played it. It is a Nintendo game. It is a popular game. It is Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, really? You're into Ultimate? Very cool.
I've had it for ages. I just never got around to playing it, and man, it's good. It's like all Smash Brother games. They're great, but spirit, whatever it's called, adventure thing, it sucks. I hate it so much. Only because at the moment, because I'm a character that I don't particularly like.
Yep.
Which is Marth. Because out of the three, because you go to a little
yeah, that's right. I remember.
You got to pick between like two rubbish ones I don't care about and Marth. I thought Marth has a sword. I'll go with that. And I've been playing for.
And also, you love Fire Emblem. Your history with Fire Emblem goes back so far. Damo, where are you when we need you? We'll talk about Fire Emblem much more, and Damo's just straight into the call.
That's how I found out about Fire Emblem was through Smash Brothers Melee. I'm pretty sure Marth was in the game.
Yeah, Roy and Marth were where they got introduced. Yeah, in the GameCube version.
Yeah. that's how I knew about Fire Emblem. I never played it, and sort of going through Game Spirit's great, and then you see, oh, I can unlock this character, and it's just another character I quite honestly couldn't give a shit about. I've unlocked about 12 characters. I hate them all, every single one of them.
You just keep getting duds. Who's your Smash Brothers main typically?
My main's old Captain Falcon, or
Nice.
Samus.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just go for punches and kicks. I don't care about all the other crap. It's all gimmicky shit I don't care about. Unless it's home run contest, go Ness. I found out.
You got to use the baseball bat. It's his go-to.
No. Home run contest, no, use fire. Then hit it. 400 kilometers. It goes. Far, far away.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just a weird thing too, because I know with Ultimate, there are lots of characters. And just every time I exit like that spirit mode story thing, it's just, oh, here comes another, what was it, someone has entered the,
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
New challenger approaches.
New challenger approaches. And I was like, man, I get this every time. It's like, I do one thing and I don't know what I've done to unlock it. I just punched it like an enemy or something. A new enemy has appeared. Like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't figure out what I'm unlocking and how it's getting unlocked. It's just, I know it's not random. There's probably something behind it. I just scratch my head every time because I've unlocked about another 10 just out of, I would say, randomness.
Yeah, okay.
I say most of it from home run contest because I'm just using every character unlocked to see who can hit it the furthest, and it's just character after character coming out.
They're just queuing up.
I was like, I don't understand. Like, I know in like Melee or something, I can understand you have to do this to get this character and this. And Melee, what is it? Ultimate. I'll be going through all of them. I can't remember which one. I don't know how it all works. I got Simon the other day. I didn't even know who Simon was.
From
Castlevania,
yeah.
I found out.
Wasn't
I'll
Simon DLC?
I don't think so. I think Castlevania is in there, unless they added it in or something. Simon's not DLC because I have not purchased any DLC. I know Final Fantasy is. Banjo-Kazooie is.
Yep.
I think. No, I was going to say Xenoblade. I don't think it. No, Xenoblade's not. I'm pretty sure there's a character in there from Xenoblade. I'm getting spirits from Xenoblade.
For some reason I have in my head. I'm going to try and search while we're chatting. For some reason I had in my head that he was, because I distinctly remember but it could have also just been in the lead up to the main release anyway. I distinctly remember the trailer. Luigi dies in the trailer.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
You think he dies, but he doesn't. He just gets the old stab through.
But maybe he was in the starting roster still. Huh, all right.
I'd say so, because he's in the old Spirit Story thing. I unlocked him there.
He's announced a newcomer during August 2018, and the game came out in end of 2018. So yeah, no, that'll be right. Direct alongside Richter, Crom, Dark Samus, King K. Rool, Fighter 66. Yeah, okay.
I just laugh. I look at it. You just look at every character you unlock and go, why is Nintendo making a game of this character? There's so many Nintendo characters.
And sorry, who's missing out? King K. Rool.
I got King K. Rool. I just laughed. I thought, what?
I'm sorry. I just missed the name of who you said needed more love from Nintendo.
Oh, everyone.
Oh yeah.
Every character I unlock, I just look and go, I haven't seen you for 20 years. I haven't seen you for God knows how long. Ice Climbers, for some reason, just keep appearing. They haven't been seen for 40 years almost.
Outside of Smash, yeah.
So long, yeah. And it's just, it's crazy. It's just how many Nintendo characters plus a few random ones. Well, no, actually not necessarily random. I know Cloud's in there too somewhere because he's on the back of the cover. I was like, it's technically yes, because Final Fantasy VII never came to Nintendo, but Final Fantasy games were on Nintendo before it switched.
And Final Fantasy VII, it's available these days on their. They re-released them because it's come to Xbox as well.
Oh yeah,
not remaking all that, but like the original Final Fantasy VII. Geez, Smash Brothers, good pick. I've had that itch and a scratch, and a podcast spot that I'm doing after we finish this show tonight, I've specifically been given the question of who is my Smash Brothers main. So like Smash is on the mind a little bit today. You struck a chord here. I feel like I could be playing Smash in the next 24 hours.
I'm trying to figure out like what the shittest Smash character is. Jigglypuff. No, I don't think Jigglypuff's the worst.
We'll see what the
I'm trying to figure out
internet
what the worst is. I know there's one that's just like.
See, I'm a Yoshi main.
That's not that bad. I'm not saying Yoshi's terrible. But I'm trying to think like Game & Watch is probably rubbish. What do they say? Probably a doof.
But it's no secret that Little Mac is the worst character in Smash. He may be one of the greatest boxers in all of gaming, but he's considered by most players to be overall worst Smash Brothers character.
Really?
Okay.
Fair enough.
Probably limited. Yeah, I'm sure there's a whole article dedicated to it. So.
Wow, someone hates Little Mac.
Incineroar number 5, Dr. Mario number 4, Ice Climbers number 3, King DDD number 2, and then what?
Who's
number 1 is Piranha Plant. Maybe this list has changed. Wasn't Piranha Plant DLC?
Who's King DDD?
Oh, sorry, Little Mac's number 6. I don't know why it appeared like that. That's weird. Have they ranked every single? What is going on here?
They ranked like
the 20. Sorry, it's the 20 worst.
So 20 worst.
Bylus, Sora, Pyron, Mytha, Ness. That's rude. Min Min, King K. Rool, the 3 Me variants, Banjo Kazooie, Diddy Kong, Pac-Man, Isabelle, Robin, Ganondorf, Donkey Kong. Yeah, from Fire Emblem.
I know who Robin is. Yeah, I know, but Robin, I always get destroyed by Robin because he's a magic man.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't agree.
Maybe doesn't suit your style, but yeah, number 6. Sorry, is Little Mac. I don't know why the Google. Maybe it's Google AI at the moment. That's having a bad time.
God.
Incineroar, and then Dr. Mario, Ice Climbers, King DDD, and Piranha Plant is apparently the worst, if you believe this Game Rant article.
No.
Anyway, Yoshi's not in there. I'm okay with that. I can deal.
I just find it funny our 2 characters are the ones from the very first Smash Brothers.
Can't fix what ain't broken.
Says,
Can't break what ain't broken. Yeah, anyway.
It ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it. That one too.
And then, we'll move away from Smash Brothers and move on to another game. A game that I never thought in my life that I would play and continue playing. It is...
Oh, you're playing Final Fantasy still.
Fantasy VII Remake.
Still remake.
Still playing it. Still playing it.
You'd be closing in on done, I would have thought.
I think I'm close. I'm very, very close.
What chapter are you up to? Do you remember?
14.
Oh yeah, you're. What's it like, 16 or 17?
I think it's 18. Because I was looking at chapters as well. I think it's 18. I could be wrong.
Yeah, 18. You're right.
18.
Are you playing Integrate, like that PS5 version, or?
I don't know.
Or just the PS4 version of the game?
I think it's the PS5 one. I think it's got the Integrate.
The DLC.
Because I was scratching my head trying to figure out what the difference was between Remake and then Remake Integrate or Final Fantasy Integrate. I thought, what's the difference between the two?
It's got the DLC on it. And the DLC was exclusive to the next gen version. You can't get it on PS4.
Oh, I've got the next gen version because it was on their whatever it's called, PlayStation Deluxe crap.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was on
because it's not a classic game.
The game collection.
It is not a classic game because it's on the PS5, not the PS4, which is I find still stupid.
Yeah. It also the doors look good.
I found that door. It's still in there. I laughed at it.
But it still looks shit.
I don't know if it looks shit. It just looks different.
Yeah.
I just laughed at it. God, that's that door.
That's the door.
That's the door. I'm glad they left it in there. You can't. That's like Insomniac taking out the spider cube. You can't take it out. You got to leave that stuff in. That's what people remember.
Exactly right.
Puddles. Oh, puddles. No puddles.
Oh, Puddlegate.
Spider-Man. But I think what I talked about last month, there were 2 things. I said Barrett's a dick. I take that back. He's a nice guy. You just got to get to know him for a little bit.
Just got to get to know.
Get to know him.
Work out what his business is, what his agenda is, and then you're best friends, and you've clearly become best friends.
He's my best friend. He is my best buddy in the world. That gun has saved me so many times.
Oh mate, and the way they use it specifically for the aerial enemies, like you rely on it a lot through a gameplay lens in this game as well. So, he's a gem in every way.
And then
Oh mate, you're so close to done. Things are gonna well actually, I'll be curious to chat next month when you will have finished Remake, presumably, and like what that ending says to you, because you don't have the context of how things should have gone.
Yes, I think that's the other thing too, because people rave about it, like, oh, it's this great, it's this, that. I'm thinking it's good, but the problem is, though, I never played the original, and I think that's why people talk about why it's so great compared to the original one, and I can't compare that.
Well, it's about what they do with kind of the story at the end. Like, it seems like I'll leave it at that. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it in a month from now.
I found Jessie to be weird as well. Then now I'm sad.
She was your girl.
Yeah.
So many people for years it was always Tifa versus Aerith, and then in Remake they give Jessie a whole bunch more spotlight, and all these people start to go, maybe it needs to be Jessie. maybe it was Jessie all along. We just didn't know it.
Got ignored.
But then of course,
so much head nodding. I don't get it. It's like, let's do this together. Right. It's like, say yes. Say yes.
Use your fucking words.
Just say okay or all right, let's do it. Don't have to nod all the time. Just be like Barrett and just say, let's do this shit, and just
exactly
get on with it. That's why I like him. He's a good guy. Leave Barrett alone.
We love Barrett. Any other thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Good.
I mean, I'm thrilled that you're enjoying it.
I might have to play more.
Well, you can check out Integrate, and then that'll really bridge the gap for Rebirth. Integrate's only 2 hours long, thereabouts. 2 to 3.
Hellblade. Ooh.
About as long as Hellblade. So you got plenty of time for it. You've probably got, it depends on how much side stuff you want to do. You've probably got, I'm guessing, maybe 5 hours or so, maybe of the main game, and then another 2 or 3 with Integrate.
I've pretty much done all the side quests up to this point.
Oh, you're actually better than me then. I haven't even done that yet. That's still on the cards for me to go back one day and do it.
Because I thought there was like a whole list of them at the one, and I thought, I must be getting to the end. I wasn't even close.
Nah.
I was like, damn.
Well, then I guess over to my lot for the month. I need to bring up my list again. Thankfully, got my little credit stock there, and we touched on MLB, which I mostly played through April there, but didn't really get to speak about properly until I think after we did our last updates episode. So yeah, MLB's there, but what I've really been kind of focusing on, I guess, over the course of the last month or so, it was Stellar Blade. I can't remember. I think maybe when we recorded last time, I said I'd started playing.
I don't think you said anything.
No,
we were talking about. I think we were talking about because people are getting upset about this and that, about certain.
So many parts of her body that jiggle.
It's coming back to me now. Yeah.
The boob physics, the booty physics. It's a bit of a hypnotic sort of thing that you kind of get caught up in it. But regardless of how, I'm usually just I don't need to see boobs and bums kind of bouncing around in video games. Let me just play the game.
You're a real gamer. It's just
I push.
I want to play the damn game. Get this shit out of my.
I usually flat reject that stuff, and there's only a very small number of exceptions where that kind of fit that bill, where I can kind of overlook that kind of excessive sort of design and get caught up in the game. And this ended up being one of those. Which says a lot because it leans. It's not a full blown Souls-like, but it leans pretty heavily on Souls-like elements as well. So, I'm really impressed by what Shift Up's done with this one. The monster design is really, really cool. There's just teeth everywhere. In the case of a lot of them, you've seen some of the bosses probably from some of the trails, like some of those ones with big circular heads, for example. They're all teeth. I thought they were just spikes or something, but they're actually teeth on the thing.
Actual teeth.
Boss design's really cool. The normal standard enemies are pretty cool as well, and it probably could be a smidge more diverse in terms of what they've actually got. It feels like after a while you're kind of fighting the same enemies a bit, but it is what it is. It's their first game, and they've kind of signaled that this is a franchise now. We'll see where it ends up. Apparently they're working. I didn't even realize this, but they said during the week that they are working on another, like a new IP that's going to come out in and around 2027. So they're already kind of back to work on something else, and then they might explore Hellblade 2 after that. So we'll see. They could be kind of in parallel development a little bit, because when I hit the credits, the amount of Sony Interactive Entertainment staff that were listed there was almost more Sony staff listed on that game than there were Shift Up developers. So there's like PlayStation did a lot of lifting on this one to get it to the line.
Was it the London studio?
Not London studio. I don't think I saw their name, but geez, that would have been good for them. Give them something to do, right? But yeah, the game's awesome. It plays really, really well. The story is kind of non-existent until pretty late, and then it kind of starts to click into gear as to why you are what you are and why she looks the way she looks. There's actual kind of reasons why she looks like this overtly sexualized thing. It all kind of clicks into gear towards the end, and it ends really well. So with a hook for a sequel, and now they're kind of making it clear that we're going to do that. It's been pretty well received, so it's a good game. Definitely encourage people to go check it out if they get the chance. I've got Sean did a review on the website. I can't remember what other content's there. It was weird playing a new release game just for my own enjoyment. COVID was good like that. Which also links
more often.
Yeah, I should just not leave the house. I mean, I spent all of... I can't remember if I even spoke about it last time with you, but or whether I said it on the show. Like, I was sleeping in the car. I was doing everything. I didn't...
Yeah, you were.
And I succeeded, by the way, everyone. If I did mention it on the show last time, I succeeded. Wife and kids did not get COVID. It would have destroyed me if I come back into the house only for them to catch COVID, like to have caught COVID a couple of days earlier and only start registering positive after I get back. Going, what the fuck was the point? Why did I bother with this staying in the shed and sleeping out of the car bullshit if I'm just going to get them sick anyway? But we dodged, like, it was successful, it worked, I'm stoked. That said, got plenty of games done. So I also played Tales of Kenzera Zao over the course of the month, which also worked out really well because I actually got to interview the studio's head, Abu Bakar Salim. People might remember him from the Game Awards last year when he announced the game. He was talking about his father, how it was it was developed to pay respect to him, and but he's a voice actor. He plays, oh damn it, I've forgotten his name now. But the main character, Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh.
He's also, funnily enough, in House of the Dragon Season 2, which debuts in like 2 weeks or thereabouts.
He's a busy man.
He's a very busy man. So, and it was an awesome interview. People should check it out on Dev. Patrons have got access to it now, but it's going to hit the free feed in a few days after this episode goes live. But the game itself, really, really cool. There's some little design quirks and those sorts of things that weren't ideal, but it's a good time. Metroidvania sort of thing. The narrative is really, really interesting, and obviously with it being kind of very much a love letter to his dad, but also paying respect to his kind of African cultural roots. There's a lot to kind of learn about too, and just like there's a lot of the language that was being used that I just didn't understand, and I'd find myself googling it. That was kind of cool to just learn little bits about the culture as well as kind of seeing how he connected it perfectly into kind of that family aspect through the story as well. I've also been we've spoken about Hellblade, so we don't need to spend too much time with that. I've kind of rendered all my thoughts on that one. Such a letdown. And I think one of my New Year commitments with Xbox was that I was going to play every single one of their first party console exclusives.
It's not off to a good start.
It's off to a rough start, yeah.
Do we start a GoFundMe page for Ninja Theory for their Tombstone?
Yeah, I think so. It's getting dicey. What else do we have? So we've got Indiana Jones. Actually, I saw a report from Insider Gaming that previews for Indiana Jones and Avowed are going to be going up shortly after the Summer Game Fest. So it seems like there's obviously a preview event lined up. It seems like both games are still on track for the back end of the year. So I've at least got a couple other Xbox games, exclusive Xbox games to check out. I don't have to play Ara. That didn't fit my conditions. That's a PC exclusive, that one. But
the keyboard.
Yeah, to hell with the keyboard and mouse. But yeah, not off to a great start with Hellblade. Who knows? Maybe they'll stealth drop something the Gears collection continues to get discussed. I can't like how many years does that need to go on before it finally becomes a reality? We'll have to wait and see. I also hear Doom is going to be revealed. Have you seen that report?
No.
Doom. I've forgotten the subtitle now. It's like a medieval style thing, or like kind of that sort of era. I don't know how, like, or thematically, it's going to kind of fit that bill. It's called Doom: The Dark Ages. Who knows? Maybe that comes out this year. It's not an exclusive, so that's the other half of the report. Is it's going to be kind of sounds like day and date with PlayStation as well, because they probably can't afford not to. But who knows? Maybe that's kind of a quick turnaround. It's been 4 years. This year, like it was 2020 when Doom Eternal came out.
Oh, get out of here!
They did DLC into 2021, and obviously that would have been a bit slower because of COVID, but they could be pretty close.
4 years.
They've got to find themselves a new composer after the way they dogged their last one, but
Yeah.
Mick Gordon.
Good luck with that.
There might be a little bit. I'll be interested to see if there's a little bit of backlash around the audio when that trailer comes out.
I guarantee you, there'll be tweets everywhere going when it comes out. Go, oh, the music's shit.
Could be.
Hashtag Mick Gordon was better.
And then I guess my two final games for the month are Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, and thanks to Nintendo for sending a code for that. There's a review on the website and Player 2 Plays for people to check out there as well. But geez, it was good going back to it. Like, this is an absolute gem of the GameCube. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and for Nintendo to kind of put a little bit of, it's not, you could tell it hasn't gotten like the full A+ sort of remake style treatment. They haven't really gone to town trying to touch it up, but it also has this. You're right. It doesn't necessarily have to. It's kind of got that really cool. Like the Paper Mario games always have this really really cool aesthetic because of the kind of papercraft sort of idea of it. That it means that they can do all sorts of weird different things with it, and it doesn't like hamper its style. And so, you know, they've kind of upgraded it to HD apparently, and this is a little bit of again something I kind of learned today. It nestled in the code somewhere, it talks about a 4K version, which can only mean, you know, this game is going to be like forward compatible to Switch 2, and it's going to, you know, have 4K upgrade or some sort when it hits that. That's a fascinating little nugget if that amounts to something, or it could have just been something they were drafting that didn't work out. But no, it's just such a blast to play. It's got a great sense of humor, and pretty happy to go back to it. Check out all the characters, to go back to that kind of, I guess, peak Paper Mario phase with the turn-based mechanics, but still with that kind of interactive element where, you know, you go to jump on an enemy. If you're Mario and you go to jump on an enemy, and then you time pressing the A button or whatever your button prompt might happen to be in a moment, but get the timing right in a prompt, you'll do extra damage, or you'll jump again, or whatever the case is, and do additional damage to them. Same idea with when the enemy's attacking you. If you can press the A button to kind of curl up and protect yourself just at the right second, you'll also take less damage. So it's kind of got that cool interactive element to a game that is otherwise, especially these days with, you know, more and more people kind of drifting away from turn-based RPGs. This is a method to kind of keep people, I guess, hooked more. You can't just kind of pick your attacks and then kick back and see how it plays out. You do need to be an active participant in it still. I'm all about it. The game holds up really, really well now, and I was thrilled that I wasn't the only one that was thinking that when the reviews came out too. That, like, even now, 20 years on, that's how old it is. Because I guess we did it. No, we haven't hit 2004 yet with our games of the century yet, but it's absolutely one of the best of that decade, of the century so far as I'm concerned. And even now, it's still a bit of a gem. So people should absolutely go check it out if they haven't in the past. And I guess the GameCube didn't sell super well, so it needs a little bit of extra TLC. The last game for me is one that I'm putting together. I'm replaying again. I think it was only last year that I played it anyway, if I remember. Certainly in the last 2 years that I went back and replayed Resistance Retribution. It was the PSP game. It's now available on the PlayStation Plus Premium / Deluxe tier. And I mean, look, like I said, I've played it in the last couple of years, so normally I probably wouldn't go back to a game like this so soon, regardless of the fact that it's got trophies and like all those other fun things, which I'm absolutely going to enjoy platinuming it. I'm putting together a review for the, I don't know, 5th or 6th, an issue in the future anyway, of our retro PlayStation magazine, RPM. So not the Player 2 one, for anyone unaware. I'll put kind of links in the show notes about what Sandeep Rai and myself and the team have been kind of doing over several different magazines and books for the last couple of years now. But yeah, working on a review for that one for the latest issue, and it's a pretty nice upgrade on the PS4/PS5. As we were talking about before the show, the game was single stick on the PSP, but bringing it across to modern consoles means you've got the availability of the second stick there. And whilst the movement's not perfect, and I think if they did try and develop it to work seamlessly with kind of the way a third-person shooter would work on a modern platform, it would make Resistance Retribution unbelievably easy. Because the size of the enemies, all the perspective, it was all very much designed with kind of limited screen space, so you wouldn't have to scroll too far to be able to find your target and hit them. So when you're doing it on a big screen, suddenly you've got the right stick to be able to control at the same time as the left. It does make it easier. I think it's almost deliberate that they haven't made the controls perfect in this case, so that it's not too easy. But it's good to be going back to it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And yeah, I'll have a full review on in a future issue. People, I guess, won't see it probably for a few months at this point. But for a future issue of the magazine, so people should go check that out as well. I think I'd have to double check, but I think that is everything for this month. Matto, anything that you plan to play over the course of June?
Finish off Final Fantasy
Outside of Final Fantasy. Yep.
Get more angry at Smash Brothers.
Yep.
And be disappointed in Hellblade. That's my career.
Okay, right. So more or less just finish the games we're already talking about, which is fine. We're getting into a quiet sort of spot with not too many big must-have games, so that's good news.
It's going to be interesting because I've not played or finished a game that's been released this year. So my top 5 for best games of 2024
pretty barren right now.
Could be a Blake.
That'll change. You're pretty close with Final Fantasy VII. It only takes you probably another 20 minutes to be done with Hellblade, and you might rack up your first few credits soon.
That's not going to the top 5. I can tell you that right now.
Well, right now it's a default number 1 if you get it done.
No, it's getting DQ'd.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good policy.
It can go in the bin.
Just alongside Fallout 76, which is apparently getting pretty good now, with all the people discovering it off the back of Fallout.
They're just nuking.
Yeah.
Or Phil Spencer.
Sucked in, Phil. I mean,
that's what they're playing it for, just to nuke that poor bastard.
We've spoken about it on a couple of episodes straight now, but like, I still can't get over the fact that after he got nuked, the next activity that everyone sees him doing is completing a quest that allows him to nuke people. So like, he's ready to fire back. I am all in for this narrative. I just need to see him drop a bomb on someone.
I can't wait to see the Fallout 76 map just be absolutely destroyed.
Because Phil's just gone berserk.
He's just pulled the trigger, just absolutely bombed the whole map.
And then we just see, the maintenance guy
and his camp's just pristine after.
Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of big circles that all kind of span around him, but he's squeaky clean in the middle. For me, look, bit like you, it's a bit of a quiet month. I've got so I'm going to finish Resistance Retribution again. Crow Country. Have you heard of that one at all?
I think I have.
There was this like drop of about 4, in the end, fairly important kind of profile indie games that came out over the course of the month that I didn't really have on the radar at all until all of a sudden they were out. But like, there was Animal Well, which is the one that everyone seems to be most celebrating, but it was also free on PlayStation Plus, so I've redeemed that and I'll be absolutely playing that. But Crow Country was one of the games that came out in this little block in the middle of the month, and it's basically like an indie take on, but also a very, very good take on the original Resident Evil. So it's kind of got those same sort of blocky polygonal graphics. It's got the horror themes. It's a nice tight 4-hour experience. I got sent a code by the developers to put together a review, and I'm going to do that. I'm really quite into what they're doing. But yeah, that came out. Now I'm just checking the list. It came out alongside V Rising. It came out alongside, which comes to PlayStation next month in the end. So I'm pretty keen on that, especially because there's the some Castlevania content in it as well. Animal Well, and that little kitty Big City also came out in that time on Xbox through Game Pass. That apparently is just good fun. I don't know if I'll be rushing to play it, but apparently it's pretty good. So go figure. In terms of June releases, though, I'm all in for Luigi's Mansion. I'm going to call it what it was properly called here in Australia, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Mansion.
Yeah, sorry, butchered that. But it was called Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. But it's Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. It's getting another Nintendo port and remake at the moment while they kind of stall for the next Switch. That's going to come out. Keen to get my hands on that. And Monster Hunter Stories, I think we spoke about it maybe a couple episodes ago or something like that. Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2 gets the remaster and port treatment this month, and I'm pretty keen to jump into those as well. But beyond that, there's not a... I'm quickly just scrolling through the Game Informer website for anything that sticks out. There are some big releases, like Destiny 2 gets its final shape DLC, but I'm so far behind on Destiny 2 that I'm not going to bother with that. But that's days away. That's less than a week away by the time this episode goes live. Or it's about a week away, I should say, by the time this episode goes live. Elden Ring's DLC comes out this month. The Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion. That's going to be huge. And I think that's probably half the reason why June doesn't have too many games. Just everyone's gone, all right, we saw what Elden Ring did last time. Get away from that shit. We're not going to do this again. And for me, that's exciting because I know Luigi's Mansion 2 is a known commodity, and I can smash through that pretty quickly and enjoy myself. That's my favorite game on the 3DS. Monster Hunter Stories, I'm really keen to check out, and then I can just focus on backlogs a little bit. July doesn't have a huge amount for me at the moment as things stand. That of course could change, but right now there's literally one Metroidvania indie in there, and that's all I'm taking any interest in so far. So we could be on the verge of a few months of just gaming catch up, and that's exciting. The backlog still exists, and I'm pretty keen to roll through it. Any other thoughts though, Matto? No. Any other games spring to mind, or
no?
Is there a game on the backlog outside of those three that you're still working through that you would consider going after, trying to tick off this month?
No, the only 3 games. Oh no, Xenoblade 3.
Oh yeah, but that's a slow burn, that one, right?
Yeah, no, I'll put that on the shelf to finish. Yakuza 6, I've ticked that off. Final Fantasy 7. I'm playing Japanese games for some reason.
This is my chance to play Yakuza. This could be my chance to finally play Yakuza. I mean, it might be in.
Then I'm getting on top of Final Fantasy 7, which I'm close, and then I'm back onto Xenoblade 3.
Yeah, mate, you're killing it. We're about to.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's the most Japanese games I've ever played in 1 year.
Get around. All right, then. We'll wrap this up. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out all the content on the YouTube channel. We've got gameplay videos in the form of Player 2 Plays. We've got Patched. We've got lots of shorts. Renee's putting out still previews from Sage and the Game Expo. There's a whole bunch of those different games that are all still rolling out. We've got hype checks and those sort of things that people can check out and kind of let us know what they're thinking of various upcoming releases there. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series, Patch, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access. Higher tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter, Matto.
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au. Thanks a lot for watching. Let us know in the comments what you're playing. Our PlayStation Showcase predictions are yet to have been proven true or false yet, but the word still is this last week of May, first week of June. So we're close. We might, maybe by our next episode, we'll actually be able to debrief on what we got right or wrong from last week. But
good.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Here's hoping. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week. When do we stop doing that? When is the time? when it's not uncool to play Helldivers yet, so we can keep doing it.